What's going on, baseball fans? How are we doing tonight? We got a lot of news to talk about. We got the Yankees up to it again, interested in some players out there. We got Scott Boras making some comments out there. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We got the Marlins looking to maybe make some moves. The Tigers are getting involved with some free agents. And, of course, the Angels want pitching. What else is new? Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. And what is going on, baseball fans? Hello. Just around 50 people in the chat right now. What is going on? How are we doing? A lot of familiar faces here. Yet again, I always love to see you guys, all the familiar faces, and all the new faces as well. Everyone, if you take a look right below where it says my name, it says 14.9K subscribers. We are within striking distance of a milestone, 15,000 subscribers. That'll put us halfway from 10 to 20K. We're almost, halfway to 20K. That's pretty cool if you ask me. Hey, 15K, can we get there soon? Have to wait and see. But everyone, thank you for stopping by tonight. We got quite a few things to talk about. Of course, the Yankees. It's looking like the Yankees, they're going to make some moves this offseason. They're already out there. They're looking to improve their team. Have to wait and see what they end up doing. But they got a couple of guys on their radars, according to reports today. We're going to talk a little Scott Boras. We're going to talk the Angels, the Marlins, the Tigers. Some good stuff to talk about tonight. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone had a good day today. But before I do get started, hit that subscribe button for me. Like I said, we're trying to get to 15K. We're very close. Hit that like button for me. Hit the bell notification so you get notified of all of the news. And hey, share any of the content on the channel at all. We have memberships on the channel for just 99 cents a month. You get badges and emojis, Q&As for live shows, access to a private Discord and subreddit. Also, everyone, hey, this my free agents predictions video is off to a pretty good start. It's starting to get out there a little bit, so if you have yet to see it, go check it out. Go let me know what you think of all my predictions that will be wrong. So, hey, I worked pretty hard on that video. All I ask is, go at least check it out for a minute at least. But everyone, let's just get to it here. So, first thing we're going to talk about tonight, we actually have a bit of a developing story. Actually, it just got posted out there into the world of the baseball news. So we'll talk about that first, actually. But let's get to it here. This isn't actually I didn't actually make like a graphic for this one, so. Because it literally, I think it just got posted not too long ago. So let me pull this up here really quick. Let's get this music turned on. Let's get the mood set. And here we go. So, and this is in relation with the collective bargaining agreement talks between Major League Baseball and the Players Association. A rather interesting proposal here. Very interested to see what you all think about this. Major League Baseball proposes replacing arbitration with salaries based off of player wins above replacement totals. Very interesting. I'm already seeing in the comments some of these people are like, what? You can't do that, based off of these websites that don't have any affiliation with Major League Baseball. Well, hey, news alert to some of the, I swear, some of these people that comment on the MLB trade rumors, I swear, they are just, I don't know. Some of these comments I read, it just blows my mind. you'll see someone put like an insightful comment, and then you just got some negative Nancy out there just commenting against it. And it's just like, this guy, he put this long comment. I get it. Not everyone wants to read a whole thing, but a long, thoughtful comment about this. And then some guy just writes, hey, do you know what a paragraph is? It's like, get out of here. I'm so sick of these negative people these days. So I don't know. And then I commented back saying, hey, it's not his fault. You don't have the attention span to read that much, my friend. Like, come on, get out of here with your nonsense. But anyway, I digress. Getting back to this is interesting. I don't expect the players to agree with something like this. I think they don't like the arbitration system, but I could expect maybe this could be some kind of a step in a different direction. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they can, I don't think they're going to necessarily go off of this exactly, because there's a lot of factors that come into play, like, I don't know, injuries and stuff like that, unforeseen circumstances that, that can affect a player's wins above replacement. They did say here Major League Baseball was more willing to align with Fangraphs wins above replacement, which I think is a good move. I tend to prefer Fangraphs compared to Baseball Reference. That's just my personal opinion. I like how Baseball Reference kind of has stuff laid out. Everything's pretty user-friendly for the most part, and so is Fangraphs, but in their own different way. Anyway, I digress. But with Fangraphs, I personally think that that leans more towards what these organizations like to use when it comes to their analytics and whatnot. So I could see that being a bit of an issue, because I think some players might disagree with some of the numbers there. I just feel like it's not really going to make a lot of people happy, because there's going to be people that just disagree and agree with it. It's just going to be, I don't know. I just don't see the players really lining up with something like that. But could that be, could this maybe go in a direction where maybe they could, instead of just, declining this completely, maybe they could do some kind of a counter. I'm not sure what that counter would be. This just got posted. I haven't really had time to really, process this really. I would have to kind of think about this for a little while. But interesting that Major League Baseball, and you know what? Hey, I'll give props to Major League Baseball here. I'll give them a little bit of props. I know everyone wants to, they like to hate on Rob Manfred and all those guys up there. But you know what? In a way, I could at least see, they're trying to come up with something creative. I could at least see that. I don't know. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I'm interested to see what you all think about it. Very interesting to me. I don't think the players go with it. I think it's too, I don't know. I don't think a lot of players are going to agree with those numbers on Fangraphs very much, or at least I think a lot of them will. But there's just a lot of things that can be, debatable and whatnot with those numbers. And, like I said, you got injuries and whatnot. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different things that come into play. But again, let me know what you think about this. But alrighty, let's get to our first story of the night. I'm going to start off with a juicy one. Scott Boras making his rounds at the general managers meetings. He had some, kind of funny things to say. I laughed at some of the things that he said, but there was one thing in particular I just didn't like. And it's like, I don't know. There's a difference between just being negative, and there's a difference between just being negative and also just ignorant at the same time. And I know Scott Boras is obviously a smart man. The guy is a very wealthy man, and he delivers the goods for his players. But I don't know. I don't agree with this one. But this is the first story of the night. So Scott Boras, very critical of the Braves World Series win. So let's go take a look at this really quick. And we'll take a look at some of the other things he had to say. So first off, we'll get to the Braves one here in a second, but you talked about Nick Castellanos first. I kind of advised all of you 2 years ago, St. Nick was going to bring a lot of presents, and frankly, we're just going to sit back and see what teams have been naughty and nice. He has a lot of these. Some of them are kind of funny, I will agree, or I'll definitely give him that. But, I don't know. I think a lot of people saw with Nick Castellanos, this is a guy where, a very good offensive player. So, in a way, he's not wrong here. And I think a lot of teams did shy away from a Nick Castellanos not too long ago. So, I wouldn't disagree with him on that one. A very interesting last part. We're going to sit back and see what teams have been naughty and nice. I I don't know. He's already in the Christmas spirit. He compared Chris Bryant to Sean Connery. If you don't know Sean Connery, the legendary actor that played the old James Bond, saying he has Bond-like abilities. Actually, when I first read that, when I saw Bond, I don't know why. I just saw Barry Bonds. I don't know why I just saw that right off the bat. I was like, Chris Bryant is nowhere near Barry Bonds. I was like, oh wait, he means James Bond. To create a great middle of the lineup. He's always red hot in the hunt for October. What a line. He's an extraordinary gentleman and is in a league of his own. I don't know. Chris Bryant, to me, he's an above average player. He's not a superstar kind of a player. He's going to give you versatility. He's a solid guy to have on your team. Of course, you would like to have a Chris Bryant in your lineup. I don't think he's like this superstar player like what he used to be. He's very good. I don't know. I don't see him as like what he was in that MVP season. But hey, you got to hype up your guy, right? Boras expressed satisfaction in picture Carlos Rodon not receiving a qualifying offer from the Chicago White Sox, as he says it was created to weigh down free agents. Yeah, he's not a fan of the qualifying offer. Because at the end of the day, if a team offers a qualifying offer and a different team signs him, you have to give up a draft pick. So, but in a way, I definitely see Scott Boras being happy with this because, obviously it gives Carlos Rodon a chance to get out there and, get a good contract. I wonder how long of a contract he's going to get because he's had the problems with the injuries. He's had the problems with the durability, and it showed this year. He was having a very good year. The guy was just dominant this year, and then in down the stretch, he was running into issues. So I wonder how teams are going to be with that. I wonder if teams really end up just offering him a 1-year deal. Kind of like, all right, prove to us that you're healthy. Let's see what you got. Kind of like Kevin Gausman a little bit. Similar situation, not really health-wise, but, Kevin Gausman, the Giants basically said, all right, we'll give you a 1-year offer here. Hey, let's see if you can do this again. And Kevin Gausman, he did well this year, and he's going to get himself a pretty decent contract. So I could see Carlos Rodon. It's not the qualifying offer, but I wonder, if it, kind of like the Marcus, we could talk about Marcus Semien too, with the Blue Jays accepted a 1-year deal. I could see something like that for Carlos Rodon. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm sure a team is going to have to pay around that $18 million mark. I mean, we'll see how it is, but are they going to like the multi-year deals that I'm sure some teams will come at him with a multi-year deal. The question is, will it be worth it on the annual salary? So we'll have to wait and see on that. It does say we're pursuing a multi-year contract, obviously. So have to wait and see how the market develops. This is a funny one. Former Mets outfielder Michael Conforto had become the King of Queens. Hey, great TV show. In free agency now, he's kind of like the ace of many GM's hearts. Mets president Sandy Alderson responded, "Those comments I would characterize as a blowhard in a house of cards." Interesting. But hey, Michael Conforto, down year, obviously, but the guy has a track record. I feel like teams aren't really going to look too much at this past year. I feel like teams, they have to have a good idea of maybe what was affecting him last year. So that's going to be interesting how teams approach a Michael Conforto contract. And then for Marcus Semien, he kind of brings a charge in the batter's box and kind of, he insulates the middle infield. What the heck did I just say? He insulates the middle infield. So he's truly a modern day Semien conductor. Oh my God. And we all know there's a shortage of chips worldwide. What in the world? These puns. Shortstop Corey Seager is like a rock, Boras said. Of course, his parents knew this. That's why they named him Corey. I love me a good pun. Hey, Corey. I mean, it's solid. So anyway, let's get to the Braves comments. Now, the Braves comments are very interesting. I don't agree with them. I don't agree with what he said. So this is what he had to say. And I'm pulling it up on ESPN.com because, I think ESPN is a completely garbage company. But They used to be good, at least in my opinion, and now it's just whatever. But they had they laid out this article pretty nicely, so that's why I'm on ESPN. So credit ESPN for kind of laying out all of this. But here we go. Boras, this is the Easter Bunny delivering rotten eggs, Boras said Wednesday. Every team says, I need to do this because it's my only option, knowing I can't reach a divisional crest. I can't get in the playoffs. We have seen the championship in 60 days. The rules allow them to be a less than 500 team at August 1st and add 5 players from teams that no longer wanted to compete, and for very little cost, change the entirety of their team and season. And we all saw this unfold to the detriment of teams that create at vast expense, planning, and intellect and won over 100 games. In doing all this, we now have created an understanding that a fan would not know who the true team is until, frankly, the trading deadline. Now, I see what he's saying. I understand it. I get it. He's looking at these teams like the Giants, the Dodgers, the Rays even, teams that won over 100 games and didn't even make it to, the World Series. And, obviously the Giants deserve a lot of credit this year. I mean, a fantastic season start to finish for them. Just losing out to the Dodgers in the first round. And then the Dodgers, they just ran out of depth. But you know what? Scott Boras, I mean, everyone has the same playing field. The Braves, they went out and made the moves. They got the moves done. They used their assets, they used their prospects, and they used their players to make trades happen. I'm sorry. I understand the Giants went out and got Chris Bryan. The Giants got plenty of prospects in that system. They could have made more trades if they wanted to. The Dodgers they went out and made moves. They got Max Scherzer and Trey Turner, obviously. So at the end of the day, but also the fact that the Braves lost Ronald Acuna Jr. Do you think they were going to be making all of those moves? Do you think they would have gotten a Jock? Maybe they would have went out and got Jock Peterson, possibly. That's definitely a possibility. I could have seen that happening to, and then Adam Duvall, that's possible. But they really brought in those guys because of Ronald Acuna Jr.'s injury. That was pretty much, and then Jorge Soler as well. I could have seen them going for one of those guys to add another bat. But, maybe Jock Peterson, honestly, if you had Ronald Acuna Jr., you don't really need to go out and go get a Jorge Soler at that point. But I could see, or I could have seen them still going after Peterson. I think that's definitely true. But they made those moves. They reacted. They reacted to those moves. All of these teams, they had the opportunities to go get these players. Oh, we got a super chat. Dustin Wood, it's not the Braves' fault for getting players no one else wanted. I mean, nail on the head. So I don't understand where Boras is coming from with this. This isn't an emotional response to it. It's just a factual response. Every team could have done the same exact thing. You could have made these moves. It's not like the Braves went out. Let's be real here. I like Jock Peterson. I like Jorge Soler. I like those guys. I mean, but they're not. Those weren't barn burner kind of trades. Max Scherzer, Trey Turner, that was a barn burner of a trade. That was a blockbuster trade. These weren't blockbuster moves by any means. This is what the teams can do. This makes no sense to me. I don't understand where he's even coming from with this. I don't know if he just has some kind of a hatred for the Atlanta Braves, or he just is feeling salty or something, or maybe the GM there, maybe the GM is hard to work with, when it comes to, free agency or what. I don't know what it is. It sounds like that he has some kind of ill will towards the Braves. I'm not sure what, where it's coming from, but this makes no sense to me. It's interesting. I wonder if there ends up being some kind of a rule at some point. You have to have, some kind of a record to be able, to go out and make a trade, or I don't know. I don't see why though. Why would you stop the ability to go out or stop a team's ability to go out and make moves? I don't see this. This is one of the more unintelligent responses I've seen. I know Scott Boras likes to go out there and just kind of throw stuff out there, but this one really lacked intelligence. I see what he's saying, but at the same time, it's I don't know, you could go look at all these other teams. I'm trying to think of a team that has made moves. You know, I mean, I don't know. Like, go to, I'm trying to think of it. Like, I don't know, the St. Louis Cardinals. Did they make any moves in Cardinals 2006 trade deadline? Did they go out and get anyone in 2006? Because what was their record in 2006 at the MLB standings All-Star break? Oh, what the heck did I even just type? There we go. All right, so I think you can type in the date, right? Okay, yeah, so you can type in the date. So let's go back. Let's go to the trade deadline. So where were the Cardinals in 2006? Because this is one of the worst teams ever, you know, record-wise to win a World Series. The Cardinals at that point, well, they were 50. Okay, so they were, yeah. Yeah, they didn't play very well that entire season. I'm trying to just think, were there who? I don't know. I can't think of a team off the top of my head right now where they weren't very good and then they had a midseason turnaround and won a World Series. Help me out if you can. I'm going kind of blank, but I don't know. I don't like these comments from Scott Boras. They don't make any sense. Teams have the ability to go out and make trades. It's not their fault they're given that ability to go do that. So I don't know. That's just my opinion, but let me know what you think down below in the comments. Well, let's move on here from Scott Boras. Let's go to some, more free agent talk here. Let's talk about the Yankees. We talked about the Yankees first yesterday. We're going to talk about them rather early here as well. The Yankees showing interest already in a couple other players. We talked about them yesterday, showing interest in some guys. But the Yankees, Philip Beasley. I'm going to wait for this to pop up on the screen. I don't want to hit the Yankees screen and then, or the graphic and then this not pop up. Philip Beasley, teams always make moves at the deadline. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, is that like so surprising to some people? Of all the people, who would think that Scott Boras was the one to be the most surprised about that? Not sure where Boras' comments are coming from. You know what I really think? I think he has like some dirty laundry, with the Braves, or, something going on there. There's the super chat. Thank you so much, Philip Beasley. I'm wondering if, I don't know, maybe there's something going on there in that Braves organization with Scott Boras. Maybe they're not really fans of each other very much. I think there's probably something behind the scenes, because why does he make a comment like that? I don't get it. But Philip Beasley, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. But let's move on to the Yankees. Yankees interested in Bryan, Reynolds, and Starling, Marte. Now, I'm just going to say this right off the bat. No one's getting Bryan Reynolds. Bryan Reynolds is staying put. Teams are going to kick the tires, obviously, because it's the Pirates. They're out of contention. But Bryan Reynolds is a guy that you can build around for the future. Hey, if the Pirates make all the right moves and they stick to some really good player development over the next couple of years, I mean, could we maybe see the Pirates in contention maybe sometime in the next, maybe after, I don't know, maybe 2024? And Bryan Reynolds is still going to be around at that point. If we take a look here, he's not a free agent until 2026. So, hey, if the Pirates take a step forward this year and then take another step forward in 2023, could this possibly be a team that's in contention maybe in 2024? And if you still got Bryan Reynolds there, I mean, this is a guy, it makes no sense to get rid of this guy, not even just from a performance standpoint, just for your team, but also just for your marketing at the same time. You need a guy that you can market. At the same time, you still got to sell tickets, and Bryan Reynolds is a guy, obviously, where he's a good player, and, he's going to sell the jerseys and he's going to sell the merch. He is going to be your leading guy when it comes to merchandise sales. That just makes the most sense. But this is a guy that obviously he's very good. I just don't see why the Pirates would get rid of him. He is so far away from free agency. Now, if he was closer to free agency, maybe 2024, I think maybe you might have something there. But he is very far away. I don't see why the Pirates would get rid of a Bryan Reynolds, but it does not hurt for teams to kick the tires. I mean, obviously. I don't think Ben Cherington gets rid of him. Now, Starling Marte, on the other hand, the Yankees, they need more athleticism. They need guys that can just run around out there. They need some speed. Hey, Starling Marte is not a bad guy to go get. I thought maybe the Yankees would go out and get Starling Marte at the trade deadline. No surprise to see them still involved with Starling Marte here. Take a look at the numbers for him this past year. A very good season for him playing with the Marlins and the A's. The A's trading for him by the deadline and played very well for them. Overall, on the year, hit 310, 12 homers, 55 RBIs, but he led the major leagues in stolen bases with 47. And actually, if we go take a look here at Fangraphs, so one thing I like about Fangraphs is it gives you all these other little numbers that you might not be thinking of. And one number that sticks out with Starling Marte is his base running, 12.3 base running. That was one of the best in the league. If we actually go pull up the base running on here, actually might have been number one. Yeah, that was number one in all of Major League Baseball. So no surprise. Whereas if you take a look at the team stats, the Yankees were one of the worst teams on the bases last year. They were second to last with a negative 15.1. You got to add some guys with some speed, some athleticism. They are a very unathletic team. I'm looking at you, Mr. Gary Sanchez. I'm sorry. You got to get rid of Gary Sanchez. Please bring in Yan Gomes. I think that would be a great fit. Good arm. Good defense. He can hit a little bit too. You got to move on from Gary Sanchez. I don't know. It just drives me nuts. But anyway. Oh, did I just give away one of my free agent predictions possibly? I don't know. You have to go check out my free agent predictions to go see. But for the Yankees, listen, they're not athletic. Starling Marte, he makes a lot of sense. Listen, I'm not a fan. I'm going to be honest here. I think one of the worst contracts in all of Major League Baseball is Aaron Hicks. I think this was a horrible contract. He's not getting a lot of money per year, but this is a guy that's just stuck on your team. This guy is broken all the time. He's always unhealthy. He never plays. I don't see I don't know. Aaron Hicks to me, what is this? Why? He hit 266 in 2017. I get it. On-base percentage is all the rage. I like on-base percentage, but come on. I like batting average too. This guy can't hit. I mean, come on. A 248 average, and he finished 22nd in MVP voting that year. I mean, I get it. 27 homers, 79 RBIs, a 366 on base, decent OPS. But come on. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the appeal of Aaron Hicks is. I don't know why this contract was ever signed. I mean, he's already 32 years old. He's not a free agent until 2026. That is such a bad contract. At this point, there's no way you're getting rid of Aaron Hicks because no one wants him. No one wants Aaron Hicks. I guarantee you, I would bet you a steak and potato dinner with some dessert after that. I would bet you all of that Brian Cashman has buyer's remorse with this. Guarantee you he has called other teams and said, hey, we got Aaron Hicks over here, man. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. Yeah, he only played like 25 games last year. You know, he's fine. He's okay though, but he's pretty good. I guarantee you Brian Cashman has done that. I would hate to have this contract on my team. I hate it. I'm sorry. If you like Aaron Hicks, I don't know what to. He's probably a very nice man. Hey, seems like a nice guy. But I'm sorry. I don't want this guy on my team until he shows me that he's healthy and he can hit. I mean, come on. He's not a free agent until 26. He's going to be, what is it? So it's how many years? 4 more years of that, right? So, he's going to be 36 years old by the end of that contract, and he can't even play right now. My busted tight hips are better than this guy's. I'll tell you that right now. Anyway, Aaron Hicks, they need an improvement in center field. The Yankees last year, let's take a look at how the Yankees did with center fielders last year. So the Yankees, they only ranked 23rd in center field production last year. That needs to get better. The Yankees are the one thing I look at when it comes to a team. You have to be very strong up the middle, at least defensively. I mean, offensively, yeah, you obviously want that too, but you need good defense up the middle. Catcher, the most important position defensively. Shortstop, second base, you got a lot of balls going through that way. Center field, that's the captain of the outfield. You need that up the middle, strong, athletic, and fast. Simple as that. I mean, take a look. I mean, hey, the Braves had a solid enough catcher with Travis d'Arnaud. You had Dansby Swanson, Ozzie Albies up the middle, right? And then, hey, you had some pretty decent production in center field. So, with the Atlanta Braves, where were the Atlanta Braves last year? Actually, they didn't rank very good in center field, but defensively they did. Defensively, they ranked okay. Atlanta ranked 10th in defense with their center fielders. So you need good defense up the middle. That is a must. And the Yankees last year, just not very good. Oh, we got a super chat. Oh, Kara Hightower, one of our members with a $1.99 super chat. She says, vibes. I appreciate that, Kara. Thank you so much. One of our members. We got a few members here tonight. Thank you for joining, everyone. Any new faces? Hey, if you're looking for more baseball news and content, hit that subscribe button. We're getting close to 15K. We're getting pretty close. Anyway, the Yankees, they need to get better up the middle. Not surprised to see them looking at these two guys. You got to go after someone. You got to get someone. It's simple as that. They need to improve. They can't just keep trying to find these like low-cost options. You can't keep trying to just try and just get through this mud. They got to go get someone. I'm sorry, like they've been trying to do this now for like the last couple of years. Oh, we got a new member. E-Rock TV is a new member. Welcome, E-Rock TV. Thank you for becoming a member. I got to put the link. So go to my community tab. I'm going to put the link to the Discord. I got to put, because the Discord, it always has you refresh the link to invite people. So I'll post that on the community tab right after tonight's show. So be on the lookout for that. E-Rock TV, thank you so much, my friend. But actually, I think we're getting close to 60 members on the channel now. So that is much appreciated, everyone. Thank you. But yeah, the Yankees, they need to improve in center field. Wouldn't be surprised if they do end up going after someone like a Starling Marte. Bryan Reynolds, that's not going to happen. Oh, we got a new member. Philip Beasley has joined the channel as a member. Philip Beasley, thank you so much. Hey, you've been coming around here for a while, my friend. I appreciate that. It's cool. But yeah, you two guys, I'll make sure to check the community tab. I'll put the link for the Discord there shortly after tonight's show. Thank you. But let's move on to our next story. So let's move on to another team like the Yankees. They need to get more athletic. Well, the Angels, on the other hand, they need to add some starting pitching. I mean, they can never seem to get this starting pitching right. I don't know what it is, but they are determined to get this right. Okay, so they've tried. They were connected with Trevor Bauer last year. They were connected with Garrett Cole a couple of years ago. Can they finally get someone? Can they finally go and get someone? We're going to have to wait and see how this turns out. But let's go to the story. So here we go. Angels hope to significantly improve the rotation this offseason. Well, let's go take a look at the rotation as it is right now. So the rotation, I mean, hey, you got Shohei Ohtani. That's a pretty good start, right? But even with, I'm sorry, as much as I love Shohei Ohtani this year, he is still an injury risk. I know Shohei Ohtani just set the world on fire this year, but he is an injury risk. He has had durability issues in the past. I mean, you can't, I don't know. You need, of course, obviously, he's really good when he's healthy, but you got to go out and get some guys. You got to fill this starting rotation. I think Reed Detmers, he's going to be better than what these numbers look like next year. You got Patrick Sandoval. That's going to be an okay guy to have, but you need more guys. And as of right now, the Angels, they have a few guys on their radar. The Angels also have interest in Marcus Stroman. Everyone, I'm just saying, go check out my free agent predictions. I think I might have a certain pitcher going to the LA Angels. You might want to go take a look. Alex Wood, that's not out of the question if you ask me. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see someone like Alex Wood, who used to be with the Dodgers, going to the crosstown rival Angels. And then Noah Syndergaard. Maybe Noah Syndergaard wants to go give a try out in LA. Maybe. So I suspect he goes back to the Mets, but I don't know. I don't think it's wrong for the Angels to go out and kick some tires at least. But these were the comments from Minasan here. He reiterated his desire to land an impact starter when speaking with Alden Gonzalez of ESPN. Frontline starting pitching is tough to acquire. It's very difficult. That being said, we'd like to significantly improve our rotation. That's an area where we'll definitely look for certain type of quality. Now, there's a few guys here that are being mentioned. They were at the Justin Verlander showcase. They have put in some, they have been kicking some tires with Robbie Ray and Eduardo Rodriguez. Supposedly there is an offer maybe for an Eduardo Rodriguez. Have to go keep an eye out for that. But you gotta think they gotta go get someone, man. You have to think there is someone out there that they're gonna go get. I don't know. I think, to me, I feel like a Marcus Stroman, Alex Wood would be two really good additions for that rotation. Veteran guys. Stroman, I think, is a really nice number 2 to have in your rotation. I don't think he's the ace of a staff by any means, but I feel like Stroman really fits with the Angels. That's just my opinion. I worry about that defense a little bit because, Marcus Stroman, he does get quite a few ground balls. They need to improve that defense as well. I know he's saying here they need to significantly improve the rotation. The Angels are one of the worst teams defensively last year. If we go take a quick look here at the LA Angels, 29th in fielding last year. That's not going to get it done. If we take a look at how they were at shortstop, they only ranked 28th at shortstop last year. That's not going to get it done. Let's see how they did at second base last year. Second base a little better, ranking 19th overall. You had David Fletcher. Could you maybe move David Fletcher to short? I don't think so. I think you probably keep him at second. If you take a look, 12 defensive runs saved. I know he played a little short last year, played 20 times at short. I don't think you move him off of second. I don't think it's out of the question to maybe think about moving him to short. But if we look here, I mean, he was okay. He had 2 defensive runs saved. Not bad. So it's a possibility for short. Maybe you go out and get a second baseman. Maybe Marcus Semien? Maybe. But I don't know. You need to improve this defense. It needs to be improved. It was one of the worst defenses last year. That pitching is not going to get any better unless you start adding some guys that can play some defense. How about third base last year? How did they do at third base? Where were they at? 22nd. 22nd at third. How are they at first? Probably not that much better. They were 14th. How about catcher? I feel like JT Realmuto last year would have been so good. Angels at catcher, 18th. I mean, the outfield. I mean, how do they do in the outfield? Angels in the outfield? Is that still a thing? Well, they were well, actually, no. Hold on. I take that. Actually, no. I thought they were number 1. They don't have the defense for overall. Let me go to, how do they do in left? Left field, 26. Center field. I mean, no Mike Trout. But Mike Trout's never really been known for consistently amazing defense. He's made some highlight reel plays. 16th, not terrible, middle of the road. Right field, 27th. This is such a bad defensive team. They're so bad defensively. I don't know. I don't think this pitching is going to get a lot better unless you improve the defense. I mean, sure, obviously some guys like Marcus Stroman and Alex Wood, yeah, they're going to make you better, but are they going to make you a bona fide World Series contender? I don't think so. I mean, look how good the Braves were defensively in the second half of the season last year. Actually, let me pull that up really quick. Where did the Braves rank defensively? Overall, the Braves, they were only 19th overall in the year. Let's actually go take a look. Let's go to the... Oh, can we not look at the... Oh, they don't give you a... You can't look at it from a certain date. I think we can do it here. Okay, well, Atlanta... That's what so I'm actually still figuring this out. I don't understand. So they have defensive runs above average here, and then they have fielding. So I guess it's, I don't know, like, I don't understand the difference between this defense and then when you click on this defense. So that is something, if anyone knows the answer to that, can anyone let me know? Because, yeah, it's kind of driving me insane. But Atlanta here, they were 10th overall on defense last year. So you got to improve the defense if you're the Angels. You're not going to win any championships with these guys just, like, looking like they're running through mud out there. So we got to wait and see what ends up happening with the Angels. I think they have a pretty decent offseason. I'm going to say it, hey, they missed out on Garrett Cole. They missed out on Trevor Bauer. I think this is the time where this is the offseason for the Angels. I think a third time's a charm. Third time's a charm. And actually, let's go here. I want to look at the Angels team one more time. Could you... I mean, you got Joe Adell out there. That's definitely some speed. That's going to make you better. We've got Brandon Marsh now. And now they actually have Mike Trout projected in left. Very interesting. Do you put Mike Trout out in left? Interesting. I don't see why not. I mean, that's a pretty decent looking outfield now, if you ask me. But then in the infield, I mean, Jared Walsh is fine. You need a shortstop. I think, honestly, Trevor Story would be perfect with that glove. I think he really makes your team that much better. I think Trevor Story, David Fletcher right there would be a really good duo there. Don't be surprised about seeing Trevor Story go here. I wouldn't be surprised at all. It sounds like an Angels kind of a move too, when they really need pitching. But then they go out and get a bat instead. Like, they got Anthony Rendon a couple off seasons ago, but they didn't even address anything with the pitching when they already had a pretty decent lineup at that point. So that's kind of like just what the Angels like to do. They like to go out and just get bats and they don't even do anything with the pitching. So don't be surprised if they go out and get Trevor Story and then go get a pitcher as well. If they can go get Trevor Story, I mean, this is asking a lot right now. I'm basically going MLB The Show mode right now. But if you can go get Trevor Story, if you can go get Marcus Stroman, maybe go get a middle-of-the-rotation guy like an Anthony Desclafani or an Alex Wood, I think the Angels are in pretty good shape at that point. I think they're actually pretty decent. So this is a big offseason for the Angels because you got to do something. You got to improve. So let's move on here. We got a couple other teams to talk about. Let's talk about the Detroit Tigers, a team that is up and coming. Hey, they got some eyes on some guys out there. Jonathan Gray, Mr. Jonathan Gray, and like I just mentioned, Anthony Desclafani. I think as Anthony Desclafani, he's going to be a bit of a commodity out there. He's a mid-rotation guy that can give you some innings. And I'm not going to be surprised to see him get a lot of offers out there. So let's take a look at the story. Not too long on this one. But, again, Tigers showing some interest in these guys. And John Gray, that could be another guy for the Angels as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see him land out there, stay out west. I think John Gray could be a pretty good fit with the Angels. But Anthony Desclafani, I could see Anthony Desclafani going, staying with the Giants. I could see him going to a team like the Angels. I could see him going to a team like the Padres. I could also see him going to a team like the Tigers as well. And that might sound a little surprising considering that, hey, the Tigers, they got all these young pitchers. I mean, look at the youth in this rotation. Casey Mize, Tariq Skubal, Matt Manning. I mean, they got some pretty decent guys here. But I feel like they need a veteran guy. I think they don't need to go out and go get, a top tier starting pitcher. They don't need to go get a Marcus Stroman or, a Max Scherzer or Justin Verlander. They don't need that right now. But I think a guy, a middle of the rotation kind of a guy that can kind of give you some consistent innings. This is a team that could take a step forward next year. I think adding a veteran guy like an Anthony Desclafani would actually go a long way for this rotation. But just also a veteran guy that he just has a presence there with these young starting pitchers. I think that would go a long way with guys like Casey Mize, Skubal, Manning. I think that would be huge. I mean, they got someone like Justin Verlander. That would be amazing. I mean, that guy not only is, if he's healthy, he's going to improve your team. He's going to improve your pitching, but he's going to be almost like a mentor for these guys as well. I mean, if you're Casey Mize and you got Justin Verlander in the same locker room as you, on the same pitching staff as you, I mean, that's just amazing right there. If you're a young pitcher like these guys, you got someone like Justin Verlander, that's a great mentor to turn to. So I'm not going to be surprised if the Tigers go and add a guy. I wouldn't be surprised. I do have them adding a premier relief pitcher on the market. You have to go look at my free agent predictions. Yes, I'm going to plug my free agent predictions. I worked hard on that video. So yeah, I'm going to plug that video because I want you guys to go watch it. And I want you guys to go tell me in the comments how terrible my predictions are. Anyway, but hey, there's also these other guys too. Eduardo Rodriguez, Steven Matz. Steven Matz is a guy out there. He's a guy where I think he's going to be a guy that gets some interest. He had a pretty good second half with the Toronto Blue Jays last year. I wonder if the Blue Jays stick with a Steven Matz. I feel like they have enough to maybe move on from a Steven Matz, but he is a guy, a fourth guy in your rotation, maybe a okay third guy. I don't know about that. I would say he's more of a 4 or 5, but I could see one of these guys going to Detroit. I could even see Eduardo Rodriguez, to be completely honest with you. I think that would actually be a pretty good fit. Well, they got a lot of lefties, so I don't know about that. Well, now you could take out one of these guys, but yeah. Honestly, I think the dream guy would be to go get Justin Verlander. I think that's the dream. How much money are the Tigers going to throw at him? I don't know. But don't count that out by any means. But John Gray is an interesting one. Had some pretty decent numbers last year. I mean, not amazing numbers by any means. But the FIP was a little better than his ERA. And hey, they always say once you get away from cores, you're going to have some better numbers. So maybe John Gray, he fits somewhere like Detroit. I'll be honest with you. I could see John Gray going somewhere maybe on the West Coast. I could see him going to a team. I could see him staying with the Rockies, to be completely honest with you. I could also see him going to a team like the Angels, the Padres, maybe even a team like the Giants. I could see something like that, West Coast team. But speaking of pitching, we got one more story for tonight, and that is a team that has a lot of good pitching. The Miami Marlins, and it looks like they might be willing to deal a starting pitcher, the Miami Marlins, because they need some offense. And the Marlins, they might be willing to give up one of these guys, Eliezer Hernandez, Pablo Sandoval, or even a Sandy Alcantara. I mean, the fact that they are willing to do something like this, that makes me think they're pretty serious about jumping into contention next year. I can't speak. I'm losing my voice. But let's take a look at the Marlins. Here we go. Let me pull up Marlins. Okay, sharing the screen. So, taking a look here. The Marlins are intent on adding offense. Why are they trying to add offense, you might be asking? Well, take a look at how bad this team was last year on the offensive side of things. They were one of the worst teams in Major League Baseball last year on the offense. These guys just couldn't hit. They ranked 28th in offense last year. They need some bats. How about runs scored? How many runs did they score last year? They only scored 623 runs last year. That was only just ahead of the Pittsburgh Pirates. That is an absolute dumpster fire of a total. They need a bat. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I think a guy like a Nick Castellanos, that would be a dream for the Marlins from Miami. I mean, I don't know. That makes a lot of sense. Would he be enticed to go back to his hometown? Nick Castellanos with the Marlins. I love it. Let's just do it. Let's get him to Miami. I love the sound of that. But Pablo Lopez, Eliezer Hernandez, these are some pretty decent guys. They had some injury stuff last year. Pablo Lopez only pitching 20 games last year. Eliezer Hernandez only pitching 11 last year. Eliezer Hernandez is a guy, he's an underrated guy to me because first off, his changeup is a Looney Tunes changeup. If you need to go get a changeup in your life, go take a look at Eliezer Hernandez. It's filthy. But he's been he's a guy, he doesn't throw very hard, but he has good stuff. He's been up and down with the injuries in the last couple of seasons, so he's not as good as he could be. That FIP was really high compared to his ERA. It was a full run higher. So I think he's still working on, coming back, from these injuries a little bit. Again, he only started 6 games. He's had injury issues for kind of a few seasons now. But if he can get himself right, this is a guy, he could be really good. And he doesn't have a lot of velocity. So, and Pablo Lopez is a guy too. Look at how he did in 2020. This guy was really good in 2020 in that shortened season. A 3.09 FIP, 9 strikeouts per 9. He was very good at over, 11 starts in 2020. And then this year, good numbers again. Good numbers, 10 strikeouts per 9. The strikeouts went up. The walks went down. Gotta love it. And hey, Pablo Lopez is a guy that could really help out a lot of teams. So I'm kind of wondering here. Who are some teams that could use some pitching? Well, let's take a look at some pitching stats here. Who could use some pitching? Well, last year, hey, a team like Texas could really use some pitchers. That is an idea, if you ask me. Could you maybe see the Rangers going after a guy like a Pablo Lopez? I think the Diamondbacks would love to add some pitching. I could see someone like a Pablo Lopez or a Sandy Alcantara, who's a team that has a good defense. We were just looking at some bad defense with the Angels, but who are some teams with good defense? Well, I don't think the Brewers are going to need anything. Could you maybe see Sandy Alcantara go to the Rockies? I don't think so. I think probably not. I don't think they're really looking to give up any prospects. Cardinals will know. I think he actually used to play for the Cardinals, didn't he? But the Rangers also make a lot of sense. The Rangers make a lot of sense because they ranked 4th in defense last year. They weren't a very good team, but they actually played some pretty good defense. So, the Rangers, hey, they need pitching. Sandy Alcantara might fit the Rangers pretty well. So, let me take a look here. Let me go to double plays finished. So, the Royals, they were good at turning the double play last year. The Cubbies. Hey, the Cubs could use some starting pitching. Maybe Sandy Alcantara with the Cubs. I could see something like that. I mean, the Cubs could use a guy like a Sandy Alcantara, to be completely honest with you. They have some prospects. They could go get a Sandy Alcantara. They need guys that can give you innings. So the Cubs that's a possibility as well. They finished a lot of double plays last year. So definitely look out for that. I mean, obviously, maybe the Cardinals could look at a Sandy Alcantara, bring him back. The Twins are an interesting team. The Twins could really use some starting pitching. They really struggled with their starting pitching last year, but they have some pretty decent defense. The Twins last year on defense, overall, the Twins did not rank very well on defense, but they had 37 defensive runs saved. Actually, how did they look at short? They were only 19th at short. How do they look at second? Only 27th. Well, that's weird. They turned a lot of double plays. But how do they look at third? Probably not all that great either. The 30th. Good God. Well, I don't know. Maybe not the Twins. But there are some teams out there that really could use Alcantara. I think a team like the Rangers makes a lot of sense. They have good defense. They need pitching. A team like the Cubs makes a lot of sense for Sandy Alcantara. I think Pablo Lopez is a guy that can really just fit in anywhere. I mean, if we just take a look at these rankings, I think Arizona could be a good fit for a Pablo Lopez. They could use a guy like that. I think Washington could use some starting pitching. I don't know if you trade within the division though. Maybe Cleveland. Could Cleveland be, or could they be a team for someone? Also that I think either Alcantara or Pablo Lopez would fit pretty nice in Cleveland. Seattle could use a starter. I think Pablo Lopez would be a really good fit for Seattle. They could use a guy, a hard-throwing guy, a veteran guy. I think Seattle would be a really nice fit for a Pablo Lopez. Now, Seattle, though, do they have any bats that they want to give up? Could you maybe do something like, I don't know. Let's go to one of my favorite websites out there. let's go to baseballtradevalues.com. It's probably the best trade simulator out there. Stop hating on it. I know one of you are out there saying, oh, this website is just, ugh. I have no affiliation with this website, but I am loyal to this website because why? They get a lot of real life trades correct with their algorithm. They approve a lot of trades that have happened in real life. They have a 95% acceptance rate. So if you're out there hating on baseball trade values, stop hating on them. 95%. That's all I got to say to you. But where was I? Marlins, and then what was the team I was thinking of? Wow, I'm going completely. Oh, Seattle. So maybe I don't know. The Mariners need bats, but maybe they could go out and get a guy to put into the lineup. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of Mariners fans might hate this one, but let's do this. Let me go pull up someone like Pablo Lopez. Also, he's under control. He's under control, so take that into consideration. Let's go Pablo Lopez on the Mariners. Let's do... I don't know. I think a lot of Mariners fans might not like this, but I don't know. Maybe you do Mitch Haniger. Mitch Haniger. I think he'd be a pretty good fit with the Marlins. They could use it. They could use an upgrade in right field, but and then maybe just throw in a prospect. I don't know. Maybe you do. I don't know if you give up France. Do you give up France? Depends on what they do with free agency. Can they bring a couple of guys in for bats and maybe make someone like a Ty France expendable? I don't know. It'd be kind of hard to put a trade like this together because Lopez has a pretty high value. You need to make up a lot here. So, I don't know. Do you give up a Noelvi? I don't think you do this. Nah, you don't give up Marte. Or, yeah, you don't do that. But, I don't know. I think it would be pretty tough. I don't think you give up Hancock. That's just, nah. I don't see that. It would be tough to put together a trade, but could you maybe send back someone? Like a Flexen? Probably not Flexen. He was good for you. I don't know. But there are possibilities out there for these guys. Have to keep an eye out for it. Maybe a team like the Blue Jays as well. I actually think, were they a team that kicked the tires on one of these guys? Yeah, the Blue Jays have actually been in touch. Hey, they could use another starting pitcher. Maybe Pablo Lopez on the Blue Jays would be a really good fit. Alcantara on the Blue Jays would be a really nice fit. I think that would actually be pretty good. Sandy Alcantara on the Toronto Blue Jays. I think that'd be pretty nice. You got some guys on defense there. There's sometimes they take a couple plays off here and there, but I feel like the Blue Jays, they have guys out there. They can play some defense. They just got to step up their game a little bit. But let's put together a trade. Let's do... do you go after a Pablo Lopez? I think that's... I don't see why that's not a bad idea, if you ask me. He's going to cost you a little bit of a penny. Alcantara is going to cost you way more. He's going to cost way more. But the Blue Jays are a team that makes sense because they have bats. Sure, you're losing Semien, but there's a lot of guys on this Blue Jays team. Let me pull up here. Roster resource. Let's go to the Blue Jays. They got a lot of guys here. Come on, Fangraphs. Load for me. So, I mean, which one of these guys could be expendable? Could you give up maybe someone like a Lourdes Gurriel Jr.? A Teoscar Hernandez? Probably not. Randall Grichuk's not going to get anything done. Could you maybe give up one of these guys for a frontline starter? Now, I don't know. Blue Jays fans will probably kill me for that one. But, I don't know. Maybe, maybe Lourdes Gurriel Jr. would be a pretty decent guy. He's cheap. He sounds like a Marlin, if you ask me. Based off the contract, fits well with what the Marlins like. Let's do that. Let's do Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Well, again, it's not making up a lot of the value there, but they got prospects that they could put together with these guys. What is Hernandez's value? He's at 25.3. I'm just putting this here. I don't know. I'm just. Don't worry about me. I'm not actually thinking this is going to happen. I'm just putting together some values. So could you maybe do a player like Hernandez and put together, package him with someone, I don't know, maybe an Alejandro Kirk, something like that. Maybe another prospect, something like that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe someone, I don't know, Hoagland. You just drafted him. But, I don't know. Maybe something like this, you're on the right track. Probably not. But I could see the Blue Jays being a team because they have bats. And the Angels, too. The Angels have bats. I mean, I think the Angels would like someone like a Pablo Lopez for their rotation, or Sandy Alcantara. Again, you need to improve that defense out there. I wonder if you could do it. There are teams out there that have bats that need pitching. The Marlins match up well with teams like the Blue Jays and the Angels because they can just swap need for need. So, but let's keep an eye out for it. I'm excited to see what the Marlins can do this offseason. I think they could actually be a pretty good team next year. Look out for the Miami Marlins next year. But that's all I got for tonight, everyone. I think I got through everything. I'm pretty sure I got through everything. But before I do go, one more time, if you are new to the channel, if you're looking for more baseball news and content, think about subscribing to the channel. We're on our way to 15,000 subscribers. We're trying to also get to 20K subscribers by opening day. The motto this offseason is 20K by opening day. Can we do it? But everyone, that is all I have for tonight. If anything happens over the weekend, any big juicy news, I'll be right here to report it for you. But everyone, I want to thank the new members that joined tonight. Thank you so much. If anyone else is interested about joining the membership here, hey, definitely consider it. But have yourself a good rest of your night. Have a good day tomorrow. Have a good weekend if I don't see you. I'm going to try and maybe get something up this weekend. But I'll be back to being live. If nothing happens over the weekend, I'll be back live Monday night. I plan to try and go live Monday through Thursday every single night. And then if anything happens Friday through Sunday, I'll hop on and talk about it there as well. But look out for any kind of content over the next few days. But in the meantime, have yourself a good weekend, and I'll talk to you next time.